Hare Krishna. Yesterday I was telling that the soul wants to experience thumping emotions, and the soul expresses himself uh, by chanting, dancing, rolling on the ground, crying, and receiving love and uh, reposing love on the Lord. So you will see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the nature of the soul is described as one endowed with spiritual emotions. So that is the spiritual plane. The spiritual plane is not a stoic or inactive or a dead plane where everything is silent. Uh, That is not the ultimate, that is only the preliminary stage. But the advanced stage is when the soul can express his emotions by singing, by dancing, by loving and receiving love and experiencing thumping emotions. So, therefore, Lord Krishna says in Gita that even for a moment the soul cannot be inactive, he says. Even while trapped in a material body, the soul is so active. In the spiritual plane, he is all the more active, he says. Now, why did I say these things yesterday? Because you will see, although the soul has such pure spiritual emotions, when the same soul comes to the material world, these emotions wrongly become reposed on uh, temporary objects. Just like if a money is in the hand of a good person, he is going to rightly use it by giving charity or using the money to worship God and everything. The same money, if it comes in the hand of a criminal or a thief, you will see that he is going to be selfish using the money, or we can say he will misuse the money. Just like if a knife is in the hand of a surgeon, he can actually use it to perform surgery and save the life of a dying man. On the other hand, if it comes in the hand of a criminal, he may misuse that knife and kill somebody. Similarly, these emotions are not bad. These emotions are good when they are in the spiritual platform, reposed on the Lord. Like, for example, lust is a very powerful force, which is the upward vector. When it is reposed on the Lord, devotees of the Lord engage their lust in cooking a big feast for the Lord, dancing in the kirtan, beating the mridanga, and in this way they can repose their affection for the Lord by expending this energy in their body by various activities. That is actually lust. But the same lust, when it comes in this material world, then one becomes selfish and one wants to indulge in degrading activities, like we hear about the gang rapes, and we hear about woman abusers, people who have misused their lust. So the spiritual world, this lust is called love. In the material world, it is downward vector. It is a degrading quality. Similarly, in the spiritual world, there is greed also. But the greed is a positive spiritual greed with which devotees want to serve Krishna more and more. Not only I want to get flowers to worship Krishna, I want to get fruits to worship Krishna, I want to clean the floor, I want to study Gita and preach the message, I want to cook for the Lord, I want to stitch dresses for the Lord. So you want to do more and more service. So that greed is good. But the same greed, when it comes to the material world, one becomes greedy for accumulating for oneself. I want to accumulate more and more and more. For whose enjoyment? For my own enjoyment. So then it becomes a bad quality, that greed. Similarly, anger. In the spiritual plane, a devotee cannot allow anyone to harm another devotee. A devotee cannot tolerate someone insulting the Lord. A devotee will become furious in anger. Not the devotee has no emotion. Devotee will not tolerate anyone insulting the Lord. Therefore, a devotee may lay down the life to protect the Lord and his devotees. On the other hand, the same anger, when it comes on the material plane, this anger becomes the root cause of the criminal activities. So Krishna calls these three qualities, lust, anger and greed, as the gateways to hell. Tribidam narakasyedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kama krodha tata lobhas tasmat etatrayam tyajet. These three qualities have become polluted in this world. Like milk is pure, but when you add some curd in that, then it becomes soured into curd. When milk is touched by lemon, it becomes curd. So both are milk products. Milk is also milk, and the curd has come from milk only. So you find that once it is soured, it acquires different nature altogether. Similarly, the love becomes lust. Mm. The spiritual anger becomes transcendental anger, becomes material anger. Uh, Transcendental greed becomes material greed. And these are very base qualities in this world, which are very degrading in nature. And these qualities, the soul is pure, but covered by the impure mind. What is coming out of conditioned souls is very uh, harm producing in this world. Just like try to picturize what I am saying. Say, if sunlight is coming through a window and the window glass is black in color, then you will only see black light coming. If the window glass is red in color, you're going to see the light as red. The window glass is yellow in color, you will see it as yellow. And if the glass is completely transparent, then you can actually see the sunlight coming. So, in the same manner, in this world, there is tamaguna, rajaguna, sattva-guna. According to the gunas, these emotions, when they come out, they are screened through the impure nature of the mind that is enveloping the conditioned soul. Therefore, in this world, the lust, anger, greed is all trouble creating for oneself and for others also, like that. So, this is the way the emotions are, the spiritual emotions, when they come out through the impure mind, they are harm producing to the individual. So we are in negative axis with negative emotions, and the spiritual world is the positive axis with positive emotions. And in between, there is a 0, 0, a zone of silence and nirvana, which is what the Buddhists aspire to go, or the impersonalists aspire to go. So as you go from the negative emotions to the 0, 0, they want to nullify these emotions and become like stoic and become motionless and shanti, shanti, shanti. That's what they want. But beyond that platform of peace, there is platform of love, which is in the positive axis. So, to be in peace is good, but to be in love is great. It's much greater. So, therefore, what is the purpose of knowing all these truths now? By knowing this, when we sit down to chant the holy name, we can see that due to this lust, anger, and greed, various emotions arise in the mind. And we have to be like a yogi is one who witnesses these emotions. And he understands that actually I am pure, aham brahmasmi. I am originally pure, part and parcel of God. And I have pure emotions. But I have become covered over by this impure mind, which is releasing nasty emotions. And this is not me. This is nasty. Just like imagine if one day you wear a socks which is stinking socks. You know that you are not a stinking man. You have taken bath, you are very wonderful. But the socks is bad. Then you have to throw away the wet socks, stinking socks. Similarly, the mind is actually like the wet, stinking socks. And of course, the good news is you can. It's a washable socks. It is. You can wash it thoroughly and clean it, and then you can wear it. Similarly, our mind is also at the moment impure. When you sit down to chant the Lord's names, devotees wonder. I have become a devotee now. I'm taking the japa beads. I've taken bath. I'm wearing tilak. But then when I sit down to chant, mind goes here and there everywhere. Why is that so? That is because our emotions are being misdirected in this world. So we have to know how to deal with this type of situation where the soul wants to. Therefore, it is said the spirit is strong, the flesh is weak. It is said, which means we have a spirit to go back to Godhead, but the conditionings are dragging us down in this world. And with that situation, chanting of the holy name can become very challenging. So therefore, many people don't like to chant more rounds, or even the given number of rounds also, they don't do it with attention. They jump here and there, go here, go there. It's very difficult to chant continuously because these lower bestial emotions are dominating us. So we will discuss later about how to deal with these emotions. But the first step is to know where are these emotions coming from? They are actually coming from the soul. In the spiritual plane, they are all more healthy, most healthy, and very useful emotions. But when the soul comes to the material world, though these emotions are colored through the three gunas, and then therefore they become a source of trouble for us, and it becomes an enemy to our spiritual progress also, these lower emotions. So therefore we have to first of all understand that I am only a witness in this body. I am different from the body, and this mind and the body are superfluous to the soul, and I am not them. To understand this is the first step, and then gradually you can find out ways how to cleanse the body and mind in such a way that these emotions will be favorably and positively released from our system in such a way that they become favorable for making a progressive march towards the spiritual world. That will be our goal. So therefore we are step by step trying to understand these emotions that are arising from our mind, so that we will not become victimized by them coming in a negative way. Rather, we will know how to uplift ourselves with these emotions. And that is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is actually a yoga of love, where one clearly understands God means He is personal, active, and reciprocal. God is personal, like your mother or father is personal, so you love them. And He's active in His emotions. The soul is active, God is active. And God is also reciprocal. He also is a reciprocator of love of the jivas. So let us know this fact and direct our emotions towards Him. And that directing emotions towards Him is going to be very fruitful, very beneficial, very progressive, very uplifting, very purifying, um, very absorbing. And that is actually the right use of the emotions. So at least we should be aware of this fact that there is a possibility to uplift ourselves in that direction. That's the beginning. Then the chanting of the holy name, when it is done in the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he is saying, Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam bodhau kripaya tava pada pankajastita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya nayanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gadgadarudhaya gira पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम गृहणे भविष्यति. So in these verses he is telling about the spiritual emotions. My dear Lord, I have totally forgotten you. I have turned away from you. What a fool I am. And let me turn towards you. And you utilize these emotions in relation to you, not in relation to some temporary person in this world, not in relation to the perishable commodities like iPad or iPod or teddy bear or scooter or car and things like that. Let me repose these emotions towards you and come towards you. That's the meaning of this. So in this way, the chanting will be done in a proper mood with this understanding. Then we are going to awaken spiritual emotions. So then we become materially inert, spiritually alert. So that spiritually alert situation is the most happy situation, where Anandambadi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. Every moment we will experience the nectar of the chanting of the holy name. Harinam Prabhu ki